morning once again, everyone. Okay, we are 25 participants now from 10, from 10 participants. So I think we'll just start so that we won't waste the time of others who had joined earlier. So as the session goes on, more people would join in. So once again, I welcome everyone to the webinar for this session. My name is Bisi Roland, like I said earlier, from Post Service Department, Office of the Head of Service, Public Service Office. The Head of Service, Mr. Bodiaguru, can't join us this morning, and the Permanent Secretary, Public Service Office, because they've gone to the House of Assembly for some official assignments. And also Mrs. Durodola, the Director for Service Department, she's unavoidably absent too because she had to go with the Head of Service and the Permanent Secretary. So I'll be your host for today, and I believe we would all have a refreshing session. But before I go on, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Mrs. Folashade Ajayi, our former Secretary of State Government and the former Head of Service. Good morning, Ma. You're welcome. Could you please kindly unmute yourself, Ma?
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Ma. Welcome, Ma.
Thank you very much. Good morning,
Yes, Ma.
everyone.
We appreciate your consistency, Ma. Thank you, Ma. And yes, Ma. Well, you're welcome, Ma. And Mr. Michael Daudu, good morning, sir. Could you please unmute yourself, sir? Mr. Daudu, sir. Okay, maybe he will do that later. Okay, the topic for today is exploring how retirement impacts personal identity and self-worth, with tips for finding a new sense of purpose. Wow, that's a mouthful. But I believe our facilitator for today, Mrs. Folashade Ajayi, she would do justice to the topic. But before we start, I'll quickly take her profile. Mrs. Ajayi is a graduate of Abia State University and the University of Sydney, with a focus on business management and psychology. She has authored 5 books and she frequently appears as a guest on television and radio programs discussing issues within her professional career. Mrs. Ajayi is regularly invited to speak at conferences and seminars on issues related to family, relationships, sexuality, and mental health. Her core values include time management, excellence, love, and integrity. Mrs. Ajayi, you're welcome to this session. Could you please unmute yourself? Good morning. Good morning, ma'am. Welcome.
Everyone.
Yes.
It's my pleasure. How many minutes do I have, ma'am?
Oh, okay. You have 30 minutes to make your presentation. Then we'll take the question and answers for the next 30 minutes.
Thank you very much.
All right, ma'am. You're welcome.
Good morning, everyone. All protocols duly observed. I want us to quickly take an exercise before we continue in the topic of the day. Can we just take a moment to breathe in? You count in 5 seconds and you breathe out. Let's do that again. Let's breathe in. Let's breathe out. Let's take it one more time. Let's breathe in. Let's breathe out. Thank you. Before I go on, I would like to ask one or two people. I will specifically mention names. If Chief Mrs. Coker is there, can you unmute and tell us how you have been faring after your retirement? Are you LD? Are you traveling around the world? Are you into another business? What are you doing? Let's hear from you in about a minute.
Please, can you unmute yourself, ma? Hello, ma. Mrs. Coker. Chief Mrs. Coker.
Okay.
Okay, maybe you'll take someone else.
Her hand is up. Let me take Dr. Nickel Duwale. Doctor, please, can you unmute and yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Our dear facilitator.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning to the SSG, former SSG and head of service. And good morning to fellow colleagues and good morning to everybody.
Good morning, ma'am.
Actually, I've had a lot since I retired 7 years ago happening to me. First, I had been with the voluntary organizations like the Nigerian Red Cross, like the National Council of Women's Societies, and I thought it was a time for me to give back to the society, so I had more time. Then I had to relocate to Canada, and over there, I was able to contribute a lot to international bodies. Like I'm presently a reviewer to so many international bodies when they have things to do, and I feel fulfilled. But I haven't really gone into working with any organization since I retired, but I'm okay. Thank you very much. So I think before retirement, one should just be looking forward to what to do after so that you don't get lost in the midst of it all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Nickel Duwale. So I will take it up from here. Thank you so much, ma'am. You know, the topic we're going to be discussing this morning has a lot to do with personal identity and self-worth. So the objective of this webinar is to understand the psychological effects of retirement on personal identity. Secondly, to examine the relationship between retirement and self-worth. Then lastly, strategies for maintaining personal identity and self-worth after retirement. I'd like to start with the definition of personal identity. We all know what personal identity means, but we just need to remind ourselves. Personal identity refers to the unique set of characteristics, your beliefs, your value system, your experiences, and roles that define who you are. It is how individuals see themselves and how they relate to the world around them. So for some of us, we got to the peak of our career before we retired. And as a matter of fact, people see you from that angle. Some people develop their personal identity through their position, their work experience, their belief, their exposure. So every one of us, at every particular point in time, we determine identity by what we do, by our experiences, and what have you. So what is self-worth? Self-worth refers to the value you place on yourself as a person, based on your thoughts, your beliefs, how you feel about yourself. So sometimes I've seen people who have gotten to the top of their career because they have not been able to deal with being able to align with their self-esteem. They are unable to project that position even in their character, in the way they relate, You see some people who are directors, PS, you see that they are timid. They can't express themselves publicly, not because they don't know what to say, but because of their self-worth, the way they sees themselves. I was speaking in a program on Monday, and I was using myself as an example. Some people self-worth is as a result of the way they look. So they see themselves to be limited because of the way they look. So I was using myself as an example. I said, I am small, but I'm mighty. I am short, but I'm proud to be short. I'm proud to be in that category. The truth of the matter is that it is not those things that define who we are. It is our capacity as human beings, ability, what we are able to offer to our community, to our society, that defines our self-worth beyond the way we look, the relationship we have, our achievement, our personal growth, or societal values. So personal identity is about who you are, while your self-worth is about how much value you place on yourself. So when I'm opportune to write people's profile, I usually, towards the end of the profile, come up with their values, with what they stand for, with their personal worth. So when you are meeting them for the first time, you know that this is what this person is standing for. And you are able to judge them from that perspective. So your personal identity is who you are. Your self-worth is the value you have placed on yourself. And as retiree, let's not feel because we are not
Hello, ma. Hello, Mrs. Ajayi. We've lost you. Okay. I think she has internet issues. So, hello, Mrs. Ajayi, we can't hear you.
Please, let's give her a little bit of time.
Oh, okay. All right, ma'am. I'll just try to call her.
Thank you, please. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. You're back. Hello, Mrs. Ajayi.
And self-worth.
Okay.
So who you are is your identity. Your self-worth is about how much value you place on yourself. Your identity shouldn't be just limited to your position. Your identity shouldn't be limited to your seat, to whatever position or title you are. You know, recently I was sharing with some group of women that you are more than just a woman. You are first a human being. You are first someone who God has created to fulfill purpose. So beyond being a woman, beyond being someone who has been saddled with some responsibility because of your gender, you are more than that. So your self-worth is the value you place on yourself. And that's the reason why, as human beings, we must have what we stand for, the values, the experiences. Those are the things that shapes our self-worth. The next slide, I would like us to look at the next slide, very colorful slide. And I would like us, as we are seated, wherever we may, be, let's read some of these things and say it emphatically to ourselves, believing that that is who you are. So I'm going to start from here. I am talented. I am important. I'm loved. I'm wanted. I am special. I'm amazing. I'm beautiful. I am unique. I'm valuable. I am great. I am priceless. I am a star. When we build our self-worth on the fact that we are valuable, loved, wanted, unique, special, beautiful, amazing, priceless, we realize that we will not have any issues with our self-esteem. And even though we are retired as a director or a PS or head of service, those self-worth are still intact, because it is not only tied to our position or to whatever we have been before. So how does retirement impact on your personal identity and self-worth? Retirement can have a significant impact on personal identity for a variety of psychological, social, emotional reasons. So it could be positive and sometimes it could be negative. And I'm going to be sharing some key factors of how retirement impact on our personal identity and self-worth. Looking at the first one, the loss of work-related identity. Many people closely tie their personal identity to their job or career. I am so. Sometimes when people ask me to introduce myself, I simply say I'm Folashade Ajayi. Either I'm married or not, it doesn't really matter. What matters is, who are you as a person? So if I've gotten some achievements, some academic achievements, like I'm a PhD holder, I'm a master holder and all that, those things is not what makes me Folashade Ajayi. It is my values. It is what I'm able to add to my society, to my community, the value I'm able to bring on the table. That's what makes Folashade Ajayi. Not because she's a PhD holder, not because she's a doctor, not because she's a director, not because she's a permanent secretary. So it is important that we build our self-esteem as a personality, as Folashade Ajayi or as Mutiu Ganiu, rather than building our self-esteem or our personal identity with our job or with a title or position. So one of the things that affects our identity and worth is social role changes. When we're at work, we're busy, we come back home late, our food is ready, everything is going on fine, but we are retired now. Sometimes we will not have all these things mentioned at our beck and call. How are we able to manage it? Are we still living in the past? I'm a director. I'm supposed to continue to live this kind of lifestyle where people at my beck and call, when I lift a finger, I have about 5 people answering to me. Those things will be changing. And as they are changing, we are expected to adapt so that it won't affect our self-worth and our personal identity. Shifting daily routine, some of the things we do before, our roles will be changing because of us. Something is to start planning on how to cut down their budget in terms of the way they spend, because money will not be flowing. They won't be collecting salary like they were collecting salary. I'll share business buying Ajayi all the time, except you know that you can afford it and you can do that upfront. Yes. But if you know that that's going to be a burden to you, is easy to be able to tell people, I'm sorry, at this time, I won't be able to do this. It's a strength that every one of us needs to develop. Reflection on life's purpose and achievements. You know, when you sometimes it could affect what has placed you, but after retirement, those things won't be there. So we need to adjust. If not, it will affect our self-worth and our personal. I mean, some of us, because we are no more, moving around, doing, active. And that's why I usually tell people we need to engage exercise. There are some like sometimes going to the kitchen to wash the plate is exercise for you at retirement. Moving around, trying to change bulb, doing this or that helps you psychologically to be active. And if you want to maintain your health and physical well-being, please engage in those little things, and it will help you to maintain your personal identity and your self-worth. A woman reached out to me recently and she said that she's always feeling lonely after retirement. There's nobody at home. She's a widow. So I told her what she should be doing in the next 1 week is that wake up in the morning, don't drive, pick a bus, go to Iduma Motor and do window shopping round. And after 1 week, our health, our psychological status, I mean, as some of the things she's going through.
Okay. I think it's still her network, but we'll just hold on for a bit for her. All right. While we're waiting for her to log back in, I think I'll just take a little recap from where she has stopped. Once again, the topic is exploring how retirement impacts personal identity and self-worth, with tips for finding a new sense of purpose. Hello, Ma, are you back? I think I heard you now. Okay. All right. So most of us on the webinar session today are retirees, and retirement is a significant life transition, which usually brings how would I put it now? Mixed emotions. It offers freedom and more time to ourselves, and it could also bring up it could also bring up challenges in our personal identity from what she had said. Challenges with personal identity, challenges with our self-worth, particularly for those of us whose sense of purpose had been tied to our careers. We're all career people, from permanent secretaries to directors to assistant directors before we retired. So we all had something going during our careers. And she also, okay, right now we are on how retirement impacts on personal identity and self-worth. From the slide, we can all see she talked about loss of identity tied to work, which is also loss of routine and structure. We know we wake up in the morning, go to work. We have to get to work before 8, come back, close by 4, get back home, cook, take care of the kids for those of us that are women, have different things to do while we were working. But because the routine has changed, some of us would feel, I won't use the word worthless, but will feel that structure is no more there. So you now wonder, what will I do with myself today? That sense of responsibility, it's not there again. And we might feel unproductive because what we are used to doing for the past 30 or thereabout years has stopped, has ended. So that's one. Then change in social identity. Change in social identity. Our careers often define how we see ourselves, like she said, and how others perceive us. So transitioning from one particular profession to a retiree can feel like a source of identity. Yes, can feel like a source of a loss of identity. Then she also talked about loss of financial security or social standing. Many of us are used to being used to protocols. Good morning, ma. Good morning, ma. Please, she's calling me right now, so please give me like a second. Let me just quickly attend to her. I'm sorry. All right. She said she has issues with her internet, so she's trying to change her connection to another network. So I think I'll just continue a bit from the little I can see from what she's written down. So the loss of financial security or social standing. Okay, yes. So we're used to collecting salaries, used to I know some ministries too were collecting running costs every month. So we already made plans on what we're going to use that particular money for, what we're going to use the salary for. But once this stops, and if you don't have a business that you're doing when you retire, it would definitely it will cause an issue in your finances, and you won't be able to afford all the things you could when you're working. So we have to be careful. And for those of us that are still serving, as in serving officers that are on the webinar session right now, we have to be careful and not put all our eggs in one basket and try to find something doing inclusive of our jobs, so that by the time we retire, we won't have, the financial security will not have dropped. Then reduce social interaction. Because we've retired, doesn't mean we have to stop going out. We have to interact with people. We have to maybe join clubs, social clubs. Okay, I think this is an opportunity to inform us about our wellness centers once again for the social interaction part that she mentioned. Post Service Department, through the Lagos State government, has 20 wellness and recreation centers in the 5 divisions of Lagos State, the Ibila divisions, and the 20 local government areas. The last session we had, we told people, I mentioned all the centers that we have all over Lagos State, and we can use this opportunity to go to the centers so that we can interact with our colleagues that have retired, and there are lots of games, lots of things there that the government has, okay, I think she has joined in. Okay, no, she hasn't. So there are lots of things that the government has equipped the centers with. We have IO, we have different kinds of games, we have table tennis, we have medical equipment, we have, even last week, we distributed generators on behalf of the government to the centers. So it's not like it's a boring place. So we can socialize when we attend the centers. Okay. Oh, she's still not back. All right. Health-related changes and fiscal adjustments. Okay, to make it quite interactive. Okay, I'll just call on anybody randomly if we can just, tell us what they've been up to since retirement. Just some 2-3 minutes for each person before our facilitator connects back. I'm not sure if this is a Mr. or a Mrs. Oluwaseun Oyegunle. Can you please unmute yourself so that you can tell us 1 or 2 things that you've been up to, ma or sa, if you don't mind? Oyegunle Oluwaseun. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, how about Mr. Sanut? Do you mind unmuting yourself? Or anybody that is willing to join us to say something.
Hello.
Hello, good morning, ma.
Can I speak, please?
Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Please, who is
Okay.
online, ma? Who is speaking, please?
Chief Mrs. Coker. Chief Mrs. Coker.
Oh, okay. All right, ma. Thank you.
After retirement, the journey has been so beautiful.
Okay.
But the challenge I have with my bee is that I work beyond my closing time in the businesses I now do.
Oh, okay.
That's the only challenge I have. I work around the clock.
Okay.
So I
But
don't know how to have that.
is there really a challenge? Because I'm sure it's making some financial gains for you.
It's not really a challenge. I work on without realizing it's time to close up.
Oh, okay. Okay, I understand now. Okay, compared to while you were in service, you know that it's 8 to
Yes,
4.
of course, when you're in your service, you know
Yes.
when you start, you have a closing time.
Yes.
But this one, I enjoy doing what I'm doing and I work on
Oh, okay.
until I'm a little bit tired. And
Yes.
I realize that I've got to stop.
Yes. Yes. That's true. Yes, ma. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma.
So I need an advice on how to cope with my timing.
Uh-oh. Okay. Well, I hope the facilitator can still join us.
Okay.
Yes, ma.
Okay then.
But from the little I know, I think you just have to maybe set an alarm or something. You know that once it's 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock and the alarm goes off, you have to stop or something. I don't know. Do you understand, ma?
I will try that.
Okay, ma. Okay, but let me
Thank
ask
you.
you one more question, ma. Have you
Why?
done anything to how would I put it now? The challenge that you mentioned, have you done anything to try to stop it, to avoid it? What have you tried doing?
My workers caution me, but
Oh, okay.
I seems to let me put in more service. Let me continue until when I get tired. That's when I normally stop, which is not good enough because we are aging. One is aging.
Okay. 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 Okay, ma'am. All right, ma. Thank you very much. Thank you very much,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Oh, sorry. Oluwaseun, I'm sorry, you're still in service. Oh, I'm sorry. But it doesn't matter. You can please unmute yourself and tell us what you do, maybe during the weekends or something, because I'm sure you have something that you're doing by the side. It's only when you retire that, you can have personal identity or you feel your self-worth is not being appreciated. Okay, I think she doesn't want to say anything. Okay, I'll call on Mr. Adekunle Nuga. If you don't mind, sir, please unmute yourself.
Good morning, ma.
Oh,
Hello.
sorry.
Okay.
Okay, is
Hello.
that Oluwaseun speaking? Uh-oh.
Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, my sister.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Dr. Busari.
Oh, okay. Good morning, sir.
This is Dr. Akinde Busari.
All right, sir. Good morning.
I retired in 2021.
Okay.
And since I retired 3 years ago, I've been making presentations here and there because I retired as Director of Fisheries and I hold a doctorate degree in fisheries.
Okay, sir.
And to the glory of God, I'm currently a lecturer at the Federal University of Ekiti here. I'm actually joining this webinar from the Ikole Ekiti campus of the
Oh,
Federal University, where I'm lecturing as a lecturer.
thank you, sir.
So it's been, yeah, so I've been so engaged. So that's just I have my own farm that I run. I do my things and I lecture here. So I kind of get myself engaged.
Okay. So you're not just
Even like,
home.
yes, I'm not just home. Even the civil service, they call me, I make presentations. During promotion exercises, my Godo uses me as well as a facilitator.
Oh, okay.
So I thank God.
All right, sir.
Yes.
So you're keeping very busy.
Yeah, the same with Minister of Extra. I delivered a lecture, 2-day lecture in July for them too. Minister of Extra and Training.
Okay.
So
All right. That's good. All right, sir. Thank you
thank
very
you very
much.
much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Mr.
you very much.
Adekunle Nuga, sir.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. And thank you for the opportunity to speak and share experience.
Yes, sir.
I retired as an education officer and I've been engaged in consultancy work, that's education consultancy, that is a capacity building for development of leaders, enhancing teaching and learning experiences in some schools, both government and private. I'm also a member of an NGO that works with drug reduction in our society.
Oh,
And I partner with them in workshops and programs and seminars.
oh,
So those things have helped to effectively engage my energy and my system, and I'm able to share experiences with them to help to make our society better.
yes.
Thank you.
So mentally, physically, you're still very active.
Yes, because at least when we go for the seminars, you stand, you walk.
Yeah.
There are some distance you walk, there are some things how you take transportation, and you share experiences with them. And when you're to give a presentation, you have to do some study work
Yes.
to update knowledge. So that one keeps the mental activity ongoing.
Yes, sir.
And also you have to prepare, like we're watching now, you have to prepare some slide work to enhance the presentation. So those activities have helped to keep my system going and my relevance to our community and still being of value to our society and community. Thank you.
That's good. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Mrs. Ajayi, I think you're back.
Yeah. I've been back since. I've been listening to people.
I'm
And
sorry.
it's in line with what we are discussing. So I'm happy about it.
Oh, okay.
I'm
All
happy
right.
about it. I'm not going to repeat what people have been talking about. Is for you to be able to keep your self-worth, you must be doing something, adding value to the society. So I will quickly just go to the slide, value over success. Strive not to be a success, but rather be a value. So when you are valuable, you'll be successful. The next slide, never underestimate the power you have to take your life in a new direction. So it's important we begin to learn new skills. For some of us who are into consulting, coaching, and selling. Some of us, we need to start attending parties. When I mean parties, for example, when I'm emotionally down, what I do is to just hang out, go to parties, dance. We need to understand what works for us physically, emotionally, and psychologically. Worth and in our personality. Technology. Today, the world is a global village where whatever you are doing, you can leverage on technology. So some of us at the moment, we are not doing anything. What we need to do, the slide is about, yes. After that, you see technology.
Okay.
You see technology after the party, you see, technology. After the social, okay. So we need to leverage on technology, learn new digital skill. Recently, I helped somebody to set up something on TikTok where she just comes out in the morning and she talks to people she engaged people on their experiences on the issue of menopause. And so every morning she finds fulfillment coming forward and share her menopausal experience, and people reach out to her. She advises them. So start using digital skills to, reach out to people, to your community, and to add value. Create digital content with your phone. Instead of using your data to just watch what is happening on social media, start adding value and you'll be fulfilled. And at the end of the day, you may even be making money with those things. I want us to, we are taking away from this webinar. Retirement is an opportunity to explore and embrace new activities which can bring joy and fulfillment. So I listen to people who have been doing stuff like reaching out to people volunteering is a way to live a life of fulfillment. So when they Folashade Ajayi, what comes to mind? What will you be remembered for? Beyond the money in the bank, beyond you being a director in service or a permanent secretary, what will you be remembered for? It is important that we start to do activities that will be able to leave a legacy that people will keep. To mention Nelson Mandela, you know what it stands for. When you mention people's name, what's the value they give is what people, see them to be beyond their professional qualification or their personal achievements. So value is very important, and we should place value before success, because if you have a valuable person, you will eventually be successful. So let's engage in new activities and revisit your old passion. What are you passionate about? You like helping people. I met someone recently who told me that she likes raising money for people who are out of school children. So she raised money to ensure that all the children around her goes back to school. So let's find fulfillment. Let's connect with our spirit being. Let's connect with our psychological being. What makes you happy? Beyond, the money, beyond the professional attainment and all that. Let's start doing them. By taking time to reflect and explore, you can build a new sense of identity that isn't tied to your job, but to your deeper interests and contributions. You can make your community and the world around you a better place. This next slide talks about adaptability. The world has moved from emotional intelligence to adaptability quotient. This is the quality of being able to adjust to new conditions, the capacity to be modified for a new use or purpose. So you are out of service. For those that are out of service, you are finding fulfillment in other things. Some of us will be going into things that has to do with spirituality. Want to go back to church, to preach, go back to mosque, to help the affairs, to help propagate the gospel, or to help propagate, Islam and all that. Wherever you feel you can find fulfillment, please be adaptable. Enjoy what you are doing. And at the end of the day, you will live long and you will live well. As I conclude, the impact of retirement on personal identity varies greatly depending on individual circumstances, but it often involves a complex process of adaptation. While it can bring feelings of loss, that I've lost my seat as a permanent secretary, as a head of service, it can also offer an opportunity for growth, reinvention, and self-discovery. How people adjust to retirement depends on their ability to redefine their roles, find new sources of meaning and connection in their post-retirement life. The effect of retirement on self-worth varies widely. For some, it can lead to a period of loss, but for others, it provides the chance to redefine themselves. What we are saying, in essence, is that beyond your active years in service, create something that makes you enjoy life after now and stick to it. And you will live long and you will live well, physically, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. Let me drop this before I stop. The Iran who has redefined.
Hello, Ma. can you take that again?
Ms. Roland, I'm sure.
No, you said something, but your voice just trailed off. We didn't hear what you said. Hello, Mrs. Ajayi. Oh, okay. Okay, all right. If you can hear me, ma'am. Well, thank you for your presentation, though we didn't hear the last part of what you said. But I'll just quickly take a recap, what we normally do, of the session. But we've talked about some of the things that she mentioned. So right now, I'll just take a recap of the tips that she gave us, tips for finding a new sense of purpose. So she said we have to redefine our identity, reflect on who we are beyond our job titles, consider having new hobbies and passion, and we should embrace the opportunity to explore new parts of ourselves that we might have, which might have been overshadowed during our career years. And we should set new goals, identifying meaningful goals that would align with our interests, such as content creation, like she said, learn new technology. With the advent of technology in the world now, it's even going so fast. So we have to keep abreast with, the new things that are happening technologically. She also talked about volunteering, staying engaged and feel productive, like what some of our participants mentioned, lecturing, consulting, and things like that. Mrs. Ajayi, are you back, ma'am? Okay. Then she also mentioned social connections, going to parties, joining clubs, meeting like-minded people, stay in touch with our former colleagues, and build new relationships and things like that. We have to stay active and healthy. Physical and mental health are very important for a fulfilling retirement. We can't just stay back at home and, health-wise, it's not ideal. Mentally, it's not ideal. So we have to stay active and healthy. We can even decide to write a book. We can write a memoir of our lives in service or our lives generally, document family history, give back to the society, join NGOs, or even have your own NGOs, non-governmental organizations. Yeah. So we can do all that. Then we are now, hello, Mrs. Ajayi, are you back, ma? Okay, because it's time for our question and answer session, but she's not on the call anymore. So from the chat box, if we have questions, which I hope she'll be able to take when she gets back, we can type them.
I'm here.
Oh, Ms. Ajayi, you're back. All right, ma. Yes. Isaac Olatunde, you can please unmute yourself, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, ma.
Yes,
good morning.
Yes, sir.
Good morning to everybody on the platform. Want to appreciate the presentation of Mrs. Folashade Ajayi, very fantastic. But it seems all the Folashade that I know, they are very wonderful. One of them is on the platform today. She's my mom. Mine is not a question per se, but a comment just to support all the things that I've had or that we have heard from Mrs. Ajayi today, that if you are being driven by passion and intention to assist others, even after retirement, it will surely take you to higher ground that you never expected. My case is a simple example. I retired as a principal. When I was the ANCOS president in Lagos State, that was the time we were having issues of substance abuse among our students in various schools. And my principals were calling me from various divisions, or guys, our students are doing this. And as at that time, I had no idea about all these drugs. I had no idea about what to do. So I became worried that how could I be the head of all principals, and they were having challenges and I could not help them. And so I developed the interest to want to know about these substances. And to the glory of God, there was an opportunity. I saw an advert that there will be a prevention seminar in the University of California. And I applied. And they asked me to come. U.S. Embassy wanted to frustrate me. But to the glory of God, again, their home office sent a message to their embassy in Nigeria, and they gave me a visa, 2 years, just within 2 days. They call it a privilege visa. There was no interview, nothing. And so when I got to the University of California for the seminar, initially I wanted to feel intimidated because I met a lot of professors from universities. I was the only one from secondary school. But to the glory of God, the main people that they were discussing on were my children, adolescents, and I handled them, junior school, senior school. So they were everybody during tea break, they were coming to meet me outside. Oh, Mr. Olatunde, please, we want to do something with you. And by the time I came back to Nigeria, the whole thing started. Today, I'm a trainer, a global trainer on substance abuse, a national trainer on substance abuse. I even train a lot of psychiatric doctors now on prevention, because I'm one of the first set of people that was trained on prevention of substances in Nigeria. And that's what I've been doing. And I'm also a project manager on family strengthening. I'm running a project in Ogun State, about 8 communities. I'll be starting that of Lagos State, in January. So I've been very, very busy traveling abroad, being sponsored by African Union and UNODC. This is me that when I was in the service, nothing like that. But at retirement now, because of passion that time, I'm now on a very high level. So I think intention to help others is surely a very good way to, getting yourself involved even after retirement and enjoying yourself. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, sir. Congratulations. That's very nice. Well done, sir.
Thank
There's
you.
a question in the chat box.
Yes, someone would like to know how she can manage her time because she enjoys what she's doing. Thereby, she works beyond the hours. So how can she manage her time?
Thank you for that question, Chief Mrs. Coker. You need to be intentional about time management. So what I would advise you to do is to write out what you want to do for the day. And if you have set a particular time to stop, maybe 6 p.m., please don't go beyond that. You leave other things to the following day. It is very important that we are intentional about how we manage our time. Yeah, there should be time for.
Hello, ma.
Hello.
Oh, okay. Good morning, sir.
We
Hello?
can hear you. We can hear you, sir. Please speak on.
Okay, Mrs. Ajayi, please give us like a minute or two. Someone asked for recreation and wellness centers. So let me just quickly take the locations there are. They are, rather. So please hold on for a little while, please, ma'am. So in Ajayi, we have the wellness center is at St. Peter's Nursery and Primary School, Agege. Koshofe local government is Ojota Nursery and Primary School, Koshofe. Ikorodu, Omitoro, I think that's the pronunciation. Omitoro Town Hall, Ijede Road, Ikorodu. Mushin, Araromi,
Araromi. Araromi. Oh, gbọ́ Yorùbá.
Araromi Nursery and Primary School, Mushin.
Araromi.
Badagry, LA Nursery and Primary School, Badagry. Ikeja, Local Government Primary School Complex, Ikeja. Lagos Island, Holy Cross Catholic Mission Nursery and Primary School. That's in Lagos Island. In Surulere, Obele Community High School, Surulere. Alimosho, Idimu Nursery and Primary School Complex in Idimu. Apapa, Metropolitan Nursery and Primary School, Sorry Gomu, Apapa. Ajeromi Felodun, Muslim Nursery and Primary School, Awodiora, Ajeromi Felodun. Shomolu, Okemeta Nursery and Primary School, Shomolu. Oshodi Solo. The center is at Methodist Wesley Nursery and Primary School, Oshodi. Lagos Mainland, African Nursery and Primary School, Abule Oja, Yaba, Ekpe, Lupeto, I'm not sure, Lupeto Nursery and Primary School, Ekpe, Ibeju Lekki, RGM Nursery and Primary School, Ibeju Lekki, then Etiosa, Langbasha Nursery and Primary School, Badore, Etiosa. So those are the places that we have the wellness centers. So please, you can join others that have, joined. You can join others that are there already. They have their meetings. I'm not sure when they have their meetings, but they come together and have lots of fun there. Then, okay, ma'am, you can go on.
What do you want me to say?
Okay, no, I thought you were answering a question. I thought you were about to answer a question. Okay, there's no question. Okay.
There's no question there. It's on time management alone.
Yes. So someone said, what time can we visit these wellness centers? They have their meetings mostly, I think, on Wednesdays because they were equipped with a smart TV too, with internet connection and generator. So they always join the webinar. I've seen like 2 or 3 of them online. So you can join them on Wednesdays. But we will put it on the retirees platform. We will put the numbers of the coordinators of the centers. We'll put their contacts on the platform. So whichever local government you are in, you can, get in contact with the coordinator there. Yes. Okay. Okay, there's some other questions, but they are not they're not about what we are talking about today. Ms. Ajayi, do you mind if I can answer the questions?
No problem. Yeah.
Okay. Some people are asking about the stevia plant. So I don't know if anybody here, if anybody on the platform has got from us. There's someone that said he or she, I'm not sure if it's a he or she, that she didn't get, it wasn't sweet. But there's a response there for you. If you don't squeeze out the juice or chew it, you won't taste the sweetness. Okay. So collect the leaves and blend or extract. Okay. We have our next webinar will be on health. Okay, the next one, the one after health will be on agric. So we might take all those stevia questions then, since it's not about stevia we have today, if you don't mind. But there are some responses in the chat box. So those who asked the questions, please quickly go to the chat box and see the responses concerning stevia. Okay, someone is asking about the slides. Yes, I've responded to that. We'll post it on the retirees platform. We'll get it in like 10 minutes after the session is over. Okay. All right. I think in the absence of any other questions, Mr. Isaac Olatunde, please, can you unmute yourself, sir? And please appreciate our facilitator, if you don't mind, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Ajayi, we want to sincerely appreciate you for even coming and not minding the network issue. You continue. You are persistent to help and to give us the stuff that you have brought to us. In retirement, people see it as a frustrating level. But the way you have discussed with us today, we can see that it's another beginning of new life, where people who, if we handle it very well, we even become enviable. People will see us and say, and so on. And so we want to thank you for these materials that you are giving us today. We'll still go back to go through and see how we can make use some of them and make the life better. God has destined us to live long, and so we are not going yet. So thank you very much once again. On behalf of the body of Foreign Secretary and retirees that are on this platform, we want to say a very big thank you to you. God bless you. We'll see you another time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
We appreciate your presence. Thank you so much. God bless you. So concerning the stevia, once again, if you are interested in it, the number to call, I'll type it in the chat box, but the number is, the farmer's number is 0811 05 14258. 0811 05 14258. And it's we got the plants through the farmer who took the session that time. So if you're interested, kindly call that number. So he'll get in touch with both service departments and, we'll get the plants to you. All right. Thank you so very much, everyone, for your attendance today. I apologize once again for the network issues that we experienced, that the facilitator experienced earlier, but I'm sure we all learned one or two things today, like Mr. Isaac said. So on behalf of the head of service, on behalf of the Permanent Secretary, Public Service Office, and my director, Mrs. Jodola, I appreciate your presence and hope to see you in the next 2 weeks for another webinar session. Thank you for your presence. So as we normally do, we can all please unmute ourselves and say hello to those who we haven't seen in a while or heard from in a while. So kindly unmute yourself all, please. Thank you.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello, Mr. Noga.
Good morning,
Nice
everyone.
seeing you.
Minister, good
Hello.
day.
Hello.
Thank you. You came online.
How is everything, Mr. Noga?
Apostle Ajibade, good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Hello, Mr. Olatunde.
Hello.
Thank you, ma'am.
Dr.
Mr.
Busari.
Olatunde, sir.
God bless you, ma'am.
Nice hearing from you after a long while.
Okay, ma'am.
Mr.
Dr. Busari.
Akeosola, ẹ káàárọ̀.
Mommy
All my
Shola
mommies on
rí
the
ẹ káàárọ̀
platform.
mà.
Mommy
My director,
Ẹ káàárọ̀, Mr.
Akingbade,
Akeosola.
Mommy
Ẹ kú iṣẹ́ o.
thanks for letting me share.
Mommy Shola rí
Busari
ẹ
ti lọ.
káàárọ̀ mà.
Oh,
Ẹ̀lẹ́ mà.
pẹ̀lẹ́ sà.
Yes,
Oh,
Mr.
Olatunde,
head of service.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ gbogbo ṣọ́lá ọjà yín lóru.
Ẹ káàárọ̀
Thank
gbogbo
you.
lé o.
Ẹ
Ẹ
káàárọ̀
káàárọ̀
gbogbo
mà.
ilé o. Ẹ káàárọ̀
Báwo
Magí tó
ni?
everybody.
dùn bẹ́ẹ̀.
Mr.
Mrs.
Sanut.
Omushola
Sanut
greeting you all.
go on mute.
Ẹ̀lẹ́.
Magí tó dùn bẹ́ẹ̀.
Maggie super, Maggie star,
Adékọ̀yé ti sá lọ.
Apostle.
Ẹ o.
Ẹ ṣeun sà.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ gbogbo lé.
Ní kẹ́ máa fi màgí ṣe bẹ̀ mọ́ o.
A máa lo díẹ̀. Ẹ má pọ̀ Maggie o. Ẹ ṣeun sà. Thank you so much. Ẹ ṣeun.
Wọ́n ní kẹ́ ẹ lo irú pẹ̀tẹ̀ àti irú.
A máa dágbọ́n sí i, a máa dágbọ́n sí i.
Ẹ máa lọ sí.
Ẹ lè fi irú bọ ẹran. Maggie lẹ máa fi bọ ẹran. Okay, sir.
Mr. Daudu, good morning, sir. We asked you to
Thank
say
you.
hello to us earlier when we started.
Ẹ mọ̀ di bàbá. Bàbá onílé.
Tapo,
Ẹ kú ètò.
ó ga, ẹ kú palẹ̀mọ́.
Ẹ jàre.
Àbá aláyọ̀ aṣọ̀pọ̀ ọdún.
Àmì Jésù.
Ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́. Ẹ bá mi kẹ́bi, ẹ bá mi kí àwa latest retiree.
A gbọ́.
Ó ga o. Bó ní kẹ́ ń kó dáadáa pẹ̀lú wọn.
Àbí o.
Ó dà bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ fún ọ ní orientation dáadáa o.
Ó di dandan.
Ok. Ìyá Maggie.
Èmi nìyẹn ọ̀yọ́ Lanet colleague o.
My professional landlord colleague. So ẹ má jẹ́ àpàdé in court.
No. Arbitration la máa lò.
Ẹ jẹ́ àpàdé ní
mediation.
Itri láti máa pàdé Itri.
No,
Not bar.
Báàrí ẹ̀gbọ́n ni màá tún gbé yín lọ tàbí kí gbé yín lọ bench.
Itri ló dá, ẹ jẹ́ àpàdé ní Itri. Okay. Very nice day. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Mrs. Brodola, good morning.
Good morning, ma. This is Mrs. Roland, ma, sitting in for Mrs. Roland. Good morning, ma.
Oh, thank you very much. Thanks for doing it.
Báwo ni o kú ṣá o?
Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning.
Thanks for the awesome department. God bless you.
Amen. And you too, ma. Thank you, ma.